So I actually came across your book about 8 years ago. And as I was reading this book, I said to myself, this is really interesting. How cool would it be to think about actually introducing a leadership contract to an organization so that everyone across the organization has a consistent way of understanding how they are expected to show up. And one of the things I have to say is that in HR, sometimes we are guilty of overcomplicating things. And when I
Right.
say that in terms of introducing programs that are very complicated with complex frameworks. But what I really liked about the leadership contract, was simple. It
Mhm.
was, when you sign up for a leader, here's the expected behaviors that you're expected to demonstrate. And I think I read somewhere that I think it was Brene Brown who said that there was a small percentage of organizations that actually operationalize their values into tangible behaviors. And what I liked about this was that your this leadership contract really was able to help me operationalize our existing new gold values and make them into specific behaviors that leaders could resonate with.
Yeah.
But what we did was actually take it one step further and focus on not only the leadership expectations, but also behaviors that are not aligned with the expectations.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to say that these are the expectations, but if you're not clear on how we don't want to have them show up, then sometimes it still ends up not being clear. And
Yeah.
so that's what I loved about this program. It was a way to really help people understand the role of leadership
Yeah.
and how we are all accountable as new gold leaders in really being the guardians of the values, really,
Yeah.
and culture. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so cool. Um, and then what's been as you because I can see in behind over your head, you've got the placemat that your team created. You've got your leadership contract, so it's clearly front of center for you. But it's one thing to have this idea, and it being sort of pretty simple and straightforward. What's been your experience? Because you and your team have been playing a critical role in communicating it out and cascading and engaging leaders and managers. What's been their reaction as you've been doing that?
Yeah, so the reaction was very positive. And
Yeah.
prior to even introducing it, I tested it with the HR teams at the site, as well as some managers, and said, hey, I'm thinking about having a leadership contract to really help the company understand the standards for new gold leadership. What do you think? And they were all very positive. And they said, that would be a great idea.